The Richland Center City Auditorium was filled to near capacity Wednesday evening as citizens from every township in Richland County gathered to voice their unified opposition to the proposed 765 kilovolt power lines. Mike Brenninger of Southwest Partners opened the proceedings by outlining the intent of the gathering before conducting a formal introduction of the represented areas. A show of hands confirmed that every single township in the county had sent residents to the auditorium, underscoring the widespread nature of the concern. The event then transitioned into a collaborative workshop format where attendees broke into small groups to discuss their motivations for attending and their reflections on the prior informational meeting held at Richland Center High School on Monday. Throughout the evening, the prevailing message emphasized by Brenninger and shared by the audience was one of unity. Organizers stressed that the impact of the power lines transcends individual property boundaries, calling for a collective effort to support one another, regardless of whose land is directly affected. Brenninger noted that the opposition faces a significant challenge that will require sustained commitment from the entire community over the long term. The atmosphere in the room remained charged with passion and loud conversation as residents discussed the potential future of their landscape. Observers described the crowd as a galvanized force determined to maintain their momentum. As the meeting concluded, organizers announced that plans are already underway for a follow-up session. During a meeting held Wednesday, the Richland Center Planning Commission conducted a public hearing to address a conditional use permit application from Schreiber Foods. The request pertains to the company's continued dairy product processing operations located at 920 Sextonville Road. While the facility is a long-standing fixture in the community, zoning administrator Aaron Unbehan clarified that an ordinance amendment dating back to 2000 established dairy processing as a use requiring a conditional use permit within the city, necessitating this formal action. Representatives from Schreiber Foods emphasized that the application is primarily a procedural effort to align with local regulations. They noted that their day-to-day operations have not changed, but they are seeking the permit now to correct a previous oversight and ensure full compliance moving forward. The transparency of the process was evident during the hearing, where the company reiterated its commitment to following the city's established zoning requirements. Public engagement regarding the permit was minimal but positive. No citizens spoke during the hearing itself. However, Unbehan reported that the city had received one email from a local resident expressing support for the proposed permit. Following the discussion, the Planning Commission showed clear consensus on the matter, voting unanimously to recommend that the City Council approve the conditional use permit. The recommendation now moves to the Council for final consideration. The Baraboo Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division is currently investigating a violent encounter that left one man injured late last night. Officers responded to the 200 block of 4th Avenue at approximately 10 p.m., following reports of a shooting during an attempted robbery. According to preliminary reports from investigators, the victim, identified as a 23-year-old male, had arranged to meet two individuals in the area. Police believe the meeting was intended to facilitate a narcotics transaction. During the meeting, two masked suspects confronted the victim and attempted to rob him at gunpoint. Although the suspects were unable to obtain any property, the situation escalated when one of the individuals discharged a firearm. The victim sustained a graze wound to his head during the shooting. The suspects fled the scene before law enforcement arrived. The victim was subsequently transported to a local hospital for treatment of his injuries, which are considered non-life-threatening. Detectives have already interviewed several witnesses and indicate they are following an active lead regarding the suspects involved in the incident. Chief of Police Justin K. Carloni stated that investigators do not believe this was a random act and have concluded there is no ongoing threat to the general public. The investigation remains active, and the Baraboo Police Department is urging anyone with information to contact them at 608-355-2720. There will be road work on Highway 14 East next year, beginning at a date not yet determined, spanning from 0.1 miles east of Highway 58, continuing east to the Sauk County line. This project will provide pavement improvement, a widening of the shoulders, and an improvement of the intersection in Gotham, which will include widening but does not include a roundabout. WRCO News will share additional information as it becomes available. Thank you, Richland County Highway Commissioner Josh Elder, for providing the details. Yesterday, a routine traffic stop escalated into a high-speed pursuit in Platteville Township. Grant County deputies attempted to stop 43-year-old Stephen Henriksen of Platteville on Highway 80 due to existing probable cause for his arrest on multiple charges, including felony bail jumping and a harassment protection order violation. Henriksen fled the scene, leading law enforcement on a chase that reached speeds of 90 miles per hour before deputies terminated the pursuit near the city limits for safety. After eventually pulling into his driveway, Henriksen fled on foot into a large wooded area adjacent to a cornfield. Despite an extensive search involving the Platteville Police Department and the deployment of a drone, he was not located. The case is being referred to the Grant County District Attorney's Office with recommendations for additional charges of felony eluding and obstructing. At 1:08 a.m. this morning, emergency crews responded to a serious motorcycle accident on Highway 81 near Cadwell Road in Cassville Township. 48-year-old Jason Udelhoffen of Cassville was traveling northbound on his 2006 Harley-Davidson when he struck a deer. The impact threw Udelhoffen from the motorcycle, resulting in significant injuries. He was initially transported to Grant Regional Health Center by Cassville EMS before being airlifted by MedFlight to a hospital in Madison for specialized treatment. Authorities noted he was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. The Crawford County Fair is being held today and runs through Sunday at the Crawford County Fairgrounds in Gays Mills. Today, the Midway opens at 3 o'clock and the Challenge to the Champions Bull Ride begins at 7. Tomorrow features live music by Buck Hallow at 3:30 and the Tri-State Truck and Tractor Pull at 6:30. Saturday's events include an antique tractor pull at 10 o'clock, Monty Burger and Country Gold at 3:30. The Demolition Derby will be held at 7 o'clock. On Sunday morning, there will be a car show at 10 o'clock, and the Class of 62 band performs at 1. All weekend, there will be exhibitors, arts and crafts, photography, food, and more. More information and a full list of events can be found at the fair website, Crawford County, Wisconsin, fair.com. The Richland County Fair is proud to announce the return of one of its most cherished traditions, the 45th annual Little Britches Showmanship. This delightful event, which showcases the next generation of agricultural enthusiasts, will take place Sunday, September 13th, starting at 11 a.m. Families and fairgoers are invited to gather in the show barn to witness a popular spectacle where little people handle little animals with pride and care. Designed specifically for youth between the ages of 3 and 8, or those in the second grade as of January 1st of this year, the contest provides an opportunity for children who are not yet eligible for regular 4-H membership to participate in the fair experience. The show features a variety of dairy and livestock animals, including dairy calves, goats, lambs, rabbits, and poultry, all of which must have been born on or after March 1st of this year. To ensure safety for both the young handlers and their animals, every animal must be presented on a lead line through the event. Participants and their families should be aware of several important requirements to ensure a smooth check-in. All animals must comply with the species-specific health and identification requirements found in the Richland County Fair Premium Book. Furthermore, any animal brought onto the fairgrounds on Sunday requires a vet check-in sheet. These sheets, along with copies of the health requirements, are available through the Richland County Fair Office or the Extension Office. If your child is ready to step into the ring, be sure to register early. Participants must sign up by calling the Extension Richland County office at 647-6148 647-6148, no later than August 31st. Don't miss this chance to support our local youth as they showcase their hard work and bond with their animals at this year's Richland County Fair. A coalition of 25 states led by the Wisconsin Department of Justice has filed a federal lawsuit challenging a new United States Postal Service rule that seeks to regulate mail-in voting. The regulation, which emerged following a recent executive order, mandates that states register every mail-in voter in a new federal database and adhere to rigorous design specifications for ballot envelopes, including the use of individualized barcodes. Under the rule, the USPS asserts the power to block the delivery of ballots that do not meet these federal standards or are not registered in the system. State officials argue that this mandate is an unconstitutional overreach that undermines the authority of states to manage their own elections. With the general election approaching rapidly, the coalition warns that the administrative and financial pressures imposed by the rule are unsustainable. It could lead to significant voter disenfranchisement. Consequently, the coalition has requested a temporary restraining order to prevent the regulation from taking effect. Ken's going to follow. The Scenic Hills National Wild Turkey Federation will be holding their Guns and Bingo event Friday, August 28th at the Phoenix Center in Richland Center. Scenic Hills NWTF President Derek Goplin talks about the event.
Doors open at 5, dinner's at 6:30. We'll have a nice meal that's included with your dinner ticket. Most people have bought in advance, but we do have plenty of seats available, so please stop on down at the Phoenix Center at 5 o'clock. You can buy your tickets at the door. They are $80 a piece. That includes the good dinner there. And then if you are interested, we do have a sponsorship table that's $1,200. That gets you 8 seats and your own raffle with that table.
The meal will feature delicious items that those who purchase a ticket will enjoy. Fuzz McCauley is a member of Scenic Hills NWTF and an organizer of the event.
Beef and turkey, the potatoes, vegetable, bread. It's the full meal. It's not it's not just a partial. It's full meal. Come hungry.
A lot of agriculture students recognize that voice. The $80 single event ticket includes the meal along with 4 complimentary rounds of bingo. The $1,200 sponsored table purchase includes 32 rounds. Bingo winners will have a chance to win prizes as well as cash.
You get the bingo cards when you come in. You play those games and see what happens. It's the kind of thing where, the selection of what you win can be something dealing with turkey and outdoor, or it can be cash. And I think it's like $400 cash per game. So it's not like if you're not a turkey person, outdoor person, if you just come and you're playing bingo with us, you walk out of there with cash.
The event will also have a raffle featuring guns and other items, door prizes, and a silent auction. All are invited to attend Scenic Hills and WTF Guns and Bingo this Friday starting at 5 o'clock at the Phoenix Center. For more information or to purchase tickets in advance, contact Fuzz by phone at 608-475-0863. That's 608-475-0863. You can also visit the NWTF website. Here with information in Richland County history regarding the Kickapoo Railroad is Mr. Ken Theet.
The Kickapoo Railroad, a follow-up to last week's History Moment. And now, a Richland County Historical Society History Moment. Here's the rest of the story for this week. According to Sunday's October 25th, 2009, it was a blog spot provided by Brad Steinmans. The first regular train of the railroad, then called the Kickapoo Valley Northern, arrived in Lafarge on October 11th, 1897. Its coming caused a boom in the village as people scrambled to meet businesses' demands and possibilities of new transportation was coming to town. The business district, which had been focused around the original corners of what is Main Street and State Street in Lafarge, began to stretch westward to the river and the train depot that was located there. Hotels and boarding houses were jammed with increased populations brought by the railroad and resulting from the increased business activity. It took a while for the railroad to get as far north as Lafarge. It all started in 1889 with a grand scheme to run a branch line up the Kickapoo Valley from Wazeeka to Wilton. Even before that, in the 1870s, a survey had been proposed and partially completed in planning for the anticipation of the running of a narrow-gauge railroad track up the valley all the way to Tomah. Then the Kickapoo Valley Northern was organized in 1889 by a group of businessmen from Prairie du Chien and Muscadet and Baraboo and Soldiers Grove. The construction on that line's road bed was commenced from Wazeeka with the intentions of building a 34-mile track of the southern section. The line would run from Wazeeka to Soldiers Grove. From the beginning, the fledgling railroad company had financial problems. When steel rails could not be secured due to lack of funds, wooden rails of maple were made and temporarily used to get the work for the train and the crews so that construction sites could start at Wazeeka North. While villages were solicited for even higher donations, individuals also donated money, land, and in this case, many farmers agreed to help with their team to help work the actual building of the railroad bed. By 1892, when the line reached Soldiers Grove, the company was in dire financial straits. To get to Lafarge, a tunnel was needed to be dug through the hill at the Lawton Farm located on the Richland-Vernon County line. The digging of this tunnel was very costly. In 1899, the Kickapoo Valley and Northern was sold to a company headed by Norman James of Richland Center. Mr. James had apparently arranged for the earlier loan to complete the line's construction. He became a very capable manager of the railroad line and soon made it profitable. In those early days, the Kickapoo Railroad usually had 2 trains running daily, except on Sundays. One train was used as a passenger train, and the other train was called the mixed train route. They would carry freight as well as passengers. The first train to go down the valley each morning and the last one north in the afternoon usually carried the mail. Special excursion trains were even used to take passengers for special events like ball games and fairs. Listen next week to the history of Richland County, covering Samuel Swinehart's account of those early days in Richland County.
Today's History Moment is a service of the Richland County Historical Society. Members of the Historical Society enjoy reminiscing with the Achy Breaky newsletter. A strong membership base keeps the Historical Society viable and active by promoting the study and appreciation of local history, the sponsorship of programs devoted to local history, and the maintenance and access to the Achy School Museum. Annual memberships are just $10 for an individual or family, $20 for a business, or $100 for a lifetime individual or family membership. Memberships can be mailed to Richland County Historical Society, 213 South Central Avenue, apartment number 1, Richland Center, Wisconsin, 53581. You can also learn more at richlandcountyhistoricalsociety.weebly.com.
Thank you, Ken. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office managed several incidents throughout the day Wednesday, ranging from emergency responses to warrant executions and domestic disturbances. The warning began with a report at 7:31 a.m. regarding a potential vehicle fire near Commerce Street and County Road ID. Local emergency services, including the Barneveld Fire Department and Barneveld EMS, joined Iowa County deputies at the location to address the situation. No injuries were reported during the incident, which was resolved without further complication. Later that morning at 8:35 a.m., law enforcement activity shifted to the 400 block of Wisconsin Street in Linden. An Iowa County deputy successfully located Rabin Stanish, 30, who was wanted on an active warrant. Stanish was taken into custody without incident and subsequently transported to the Iowa County Jail. The day concluded with a late-night response to a domestic disturbance in the village of Ridgeway. At 9:44 p.m., the Iowa County Communications Center received a report from the 400 block of Kirby Street. Following an investigation into the matter, 25-year-old Hank Doherty was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct with a domestic enhancer. Doherty was then transported to the Iowa County Jail to be booked on the charge. A cheese plant closure in central Wisconsin. Foremost Farms USA will discontinue production of 40-pound block cheese and permanently close its facility in Marshfield, affecting all 68 employees. The company's WARN notice filed with the Department of Workforce Development states Foremost is providing at least 60 days advance notice to all affected employees. The closure is expected to occur on or around December 15th, and layoffs are expected to be permanent. Foremost President and CEO Brenda DeHart said the decision to close the plant built in the 1950s follows a comprehensive review of changing dairy market dynamics, including increased U.S. cheese production capacity and shifting consumer demand, and is not a reflection on the employees in Marshfield. New Berlin's mayor has offered a public apology following blowback over social media posts disparaging the Muslim faith. Mayor Dave Ament acknowledged during Tuesday's Common Council meeting that the posts on his personal Facebook page could be insulting, offensive, and hurtful. After delivering his remarks, Ament left the meeting, at which point the council approved a resolution condemning his actions and affirming the city's commitment to religious freedom. There are some calls for the mayor to resign. The council does not have the authority to remove him from office. We have two new winners today in the Grace Calendar raffle drawing. They are on ticket 1557, Carla Doudna. And on ticket 3116, congratulations, Brian Miller from Laval. Two new $50 winners. Congratulations to both of you.